I am Solange Warner with the World Chamber of Commerce in Global Matters, and today I would like to welcome my guest, Consul General of France in Atlanta, Dr. Pascal Ledeneuf. Welcome to the show, Consul. I really appreciate you're here today.
Thank you very much for your interest.
Absolutely. I would like to just mention a few of the accomplishments that you have during your diplomatic career, and I would like to ask you more about it. But I am very delighted and impressed to see that part of your accomplishment is you have been appointed Knight of the National Order of Merit by the President of the French Republic. Congratulations, and how did this come about?
Well, thank you. I think it is because of what I've done in my past positions, and at one point of a diplomatic career, usually the high authorities of France give some awards. So it's just a normal situation, I would say. But if you don't mind, let's talk about the present and the future, and especially in Atlanta.
Okay. Well, then I won't continue with something like the Silver Medal of Honor of the French Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs, and we will continue talking about your career perhaps in the future. But I just want to congratulate you because I feel that I'm speaking on behalf of the local community and some of the international community to say that you have done so much in a short amount of time that you have been there. You have become really so active, not only with the French community, but also with the local community. And I wanted to congratulate you for that, because I know that this is the thought of many people here in Atlanta and in Georgia. So thank you
very much. And as you know, we cannot do such a thing by ourselves. If what I'm doing is successful, it's because of good partners that I found here. And I want to point out that this region of the United States is, in spite of the recession, still very dynamic and very positive in their spirits. So I think that counts a lot for the success of the international community here.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your thoughts on that, because I agree with you. You know, due to even with the recession and so on, I think that the business and international community are really coming together today, and we see this response through our World Chamber of Commerce. So I agree with you, and I thank you for what you take part of that. And being that said, I wanted to ask you about a fantastic program that you have put together, and I know you have worked very, very hard. You and I met probably a year and a half ago to talk about, and you were in the initial stages of organizing this event, and I could sense then that you have put your heart in making this work, and it's coming to fruition now. It looks like a fantastic program, very educational, and I think it's something that is so needed here in Atlanta. Please tell us a little bit more about France Atlanta and what the program includes.
Yes, France Atlanta is a series of French-American events taking place in Atlanta just after Thanksgiving of this year, from the 29th of November until the 12th of December. It is organized by the French Consulate in Atlanta and Georgia Tech, under the auspices of the French ambassador to the United States, the governor of Georgia, and the mayor of Atlanta, with the support of all the French and French-American associations and institutions in Atlanta. It's a series of events, French-American events, in four areas: scientific, economic, business, cultural, and humanitarian. We will bring from France a lot of scientists, high-level scientists, business people, companies, artists, and people from like architects and museum leaders, and also some representatives of French NGOs.
Well, this sounds an amazing event, and I'm going to ask you about each one of those areas that you mentioned. The first one, of course, being that we are from the World Chamber of Commerce, I would like to ask you about the business aspect that I know many local businesses will be very interested in becoming part of it. Like, for instance, I see here you will have on November 30th at 2 p.m. An event that is related business. It says investing in France, focus on the Lorraine. And I wanted to ask you about this because this is very interesting statistics. You talk about France being one of the top 3 destinations in the world for foreigner investment. And I wanted to see, how has France been able to accomplish this? How do you get these worldwide investors to come into France to make these investments?
Yeah, sometimes the images that we see on TV are not really the reality. In spite of what's going on right now in my country, the strikes that everybody knows, the productivity of the French labor is very, very high. And as a matter of fact, France is the 3rd destination of foreign investments in the world, just after the United States and China. Business people like France because of the productivity of labor, because of a very good network of transportation, a business environment that is very positive and very good. And so, the fact is that we are the 3rd destination. So the president of Investing in French Agency, which is located in New York, will come to talk to potential American investors on the November 30 at 2 p.m. At the Waterloo Center of Georgia Tech, and highlight the attractiveness of the French territory for foreign investors. There will be a special focus on the region Lorraine that same day, with the vice president of this region coming to talk about the possibilities of investment in his region and the opportunities of the market in that area.
That is wonderful, and I know that Philippe prepared a wonderful presentation for the WCC symposium last year in December. I know many businesses were very interested in finding out more. So I'm sure that today, with this interview, hopefully the listeners will be able to become involved with this particular event on that day, among many of the other ones that you will have during that week. But I think this is very important for investors, and we come across a lot of investors here locally and some international as well. And what can you say to these listeners in terms of what kind of opportunities Philippe will talk about in this presentation? Can you give us sort of like a preview of what can they expect?
I think that they can expect to know more about the $43 billion that the French authorities are committed to invest in the next few years in strategic industries such as biotechnology, nanotechnology, environment, the green economy, transportation, and energy. This money will, at the end of the day, come into institutions and companies, and will stimulate the activity in such in these areas that are absolutely very important for France in the future, and also for the United States. This money will not be spent to make the state or government agencies function. It will be actually real investments in research, development, and creation of a small and medium-sized company. So probably the highlight of the presentation of Mr. Ivernio will probably be that.
Okay, that sounds excellent. Thank you so much. And that sounds so interesting that I offer to you right now to promote this event with our distribution list at the World Chamber of Commerce as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you, I see the program here and I see so many different presentations, and each one of them are really, really interesting that I think everybody will benefit from participating. There is one presentation here that I think it will be very important for local business to be part of it. It says, rethinking ground transportation and logistics. This being one of the major problems for Atlanta, our transportation. And there is anything in particular, do you think, that in this presentation we can learn from the French? Because I was there this summer and I could tell you transportation is wonderful in Paris and all over the country, all over France. You have fantastic public transportation. What do you think we can learn from this presentation for our business and for our government as well?
There will be a workshop on December 2 at the Metro Atlanta Chamber. This workshop is entitled Rethinking Ground Transportation